Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor, for saying what you said earlier. But can I draw to your attention that it's not just the cut in the feed-in tariff that we're talking about. There's a change in the pre-accreditation system, which affects, for example, the amount of solar that we develop here, and also tax relief changes. Funnily enough, the government, whilst cutting subsidies for renewables, like solar, is actually doubling the subsidies for fossil fuels like North Sea oil. Yes. So can I ask you, when you do meet Amber Rudd at DEG, when are you and how are you going to put the London case across, particularly in light of 2,500 jobs being lost in the solar panel?
Well, I mean, it's the jobs thing is obviously, as I was saying to Nikki earlier on, that's obviously very important. But let's concentrate on what we're trying to do, which is encourage zero carbon energy production. Solar, I think, is very attractive. We have been concerned about the steep reduction of feed-in tariffs, the steep reduction, in the subsidy, and so you've seen our response to the consultation. It was pretty robust, and we continue to hope that there will be a longer period of a longer glide-in.
I'm sorry to say that the Tory group at the Assembly isn't supporting you on those efforts, but
is that right?
You'll get support. Well, they didn't sign up to the solar report that was done by the Environment Committee.
We are one on everything.
But can I?
Well, sorry. He's suggesting that we don't agree about something.
Well, indeed, plenty of things you don't agree amongst yourselves. Can I propose?
We agree. Gareth
can I propose, Mr. Mayor?
No, they don't agree with your report. I don't agree.
Well, I think our report says a lot more than I think they want to live up to. Mr. Mayor, can I ask you then to look into a London feed-in tariff suggestion, which I think your officers
who would pay for it?
Well, actually, it's not so much paying. I mean, the biggest energy consumer here in London is TfL. I mean, they could potentially buy in a lot of stuff which in future, but that's not for me to say now.
Well, we do have a licence light thing with TfL.
Well, precisely. That's where we need to be with.
I have to say, I don't entirely understand how the licence light thing with TfL works. The GLA. There's a question about this in a minute, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I must.
We're going on to that question in a moment. Can you just finish answering the specifics of Assemblymember Qureshi's
Well, I mean, I think
a London fit is what we want, and I think it should be at least investigated.
A London fit.
Okay.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting idea. I'll try and I'll ask Matthew Penchart to see what he thinks of it.
Thank you. And finally, when you go to Paris, can I just remind you, the last time you went to a conference of the parties in Europe was Copenhagen, and you promised to make London the electric vehicle capital of the world.
Well, we have.
What promises are you going to be making this time?
Look at it. We've got huge numbers of electric vehicles now. We've got these charging points all over the place.
If I can correct you, you said 100,000 vehicles. We're only at 2,000 or 3,000. You said 25,000 plug-in points.
It's more than that.
2,000 or 3,000 again.
It's more
I'm just wondering what kind of promises are you going to be making to the conference, to the summit this December?
We will have. The promises I will be making are the promises we are already keeping, which is when we've reduced our CO2 emissions by 14%. We're on track to reduce them by 60% by 2025 on a 1990 base, and we have huge numbers of EVs across London. It's now actually really starting to take off, the EVs. When I was in Japan, I drove the incredible Mitsubishi. What has been disappointing...
That's in Tokyo, not London, and I would suggest Paris is the capital of electric vehicles now in Europe. But finally, can I just remind you, it's worth checking up on whether the meeting is going ahead, because I suspect a lot of the fringe and rally meetings around the Paris summit aren't going to happen now.